Konten pada video ini murni hanya opini pribadi masing-masing pihak yang dibicarakan ke satu sama lain, tanpa ada niatan sengaja atau tidak sengaja untuk merendahkan, menghina, menggiring opini atau memaksa opini pribadi untuk menjadi hal yang kalian percayai.
You know that he hit the backside of the tofu card, and the guy just keep frying the tofu like she didn't give a fuck. She didn't give a fuck, and I'm like,
oh, that's so bad.
And we were like, yeah, okay, we cannot move this motorcycle now. Can we leave it here? Yeah, no problem. They did not care at all.
They did not really care at all, and I even asked that if I probably have to pay the damage because there is some scratch in the car, and she just said like, it's often happened. It's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's common here.
Which is also a bad sign.
Yeah. The car is only like a bit like there is some like 2 or 3 scratches, but then like the bike is kind of bit like in the front of the bike is total like wow.
It was broken.
It was broken.
But I think it was like 600 kg repair.
825.
Okay.
Yeah, but then
well,
no, because he actually asked me about the price because
okay.
he kind of bit afraid to get scammed or anything. But then like that's actually a good thing that the place that
it was cheap.
The place that we used to rent the bike, that they actually pretty honest though that 825 is purely just to repair the bike.
Okay.
They actually they didn't ask for a compensation or anything. No, it's so you just go to a dealership and then you just buy everything and then you just pay that.
Okay.
And that's it.
I think they don't rent bikes for me anymore.
Because you graduated.
Maybe that's why. Because like I asked, I think a week in advance if they have, and they said no, it's booked out. And it's never. I mean, they always. Normally, I just go there and say, yeah, I need a bike, and then you can always get a bike.
Yeah, but then like okay, that's a bad. It probably can happen, but then again, like you see, Bandung is getting more crowded every single time, and then probably they don't have any much. They don't add much that bike, but then a lot of people actually renting it out.
You think they remembered you?
Yeah, but I mean, like she still has my phone number, and we have a chat, so I think she might know it's me. But it wasn't even me, but I also understand it's not the smartest move to rent bikes to foreigners all the time.
Yeah, well, it depends. Yeah, well, you see a lot of bullet block land around in Bali.
Yes. Bali also, everyone has marks and scratches because everyone makes a motorcycle accident. And it's crazy how in Indonesia, like this drinking and driving thing is not a thing at all. Not even the police is looking.
They doesn't really.
Like, I mean, drinking is not like I mean, it's allowed, but not really good scene here. But then, like drinking, driving, no problem. And yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do I explain that thing? Like, probably it's more into like your own responsibility that because you're welcome.
But it's not. It's not. I mean, you're really responsible for others, and you cannot, in the end, like if you make an accident, someone else is involved.
Yeah,
well,
okay. In that case, yeah, it's back to the way you think because for me, if I'm actually drinking quite a lot, then I'm not gonna drive because it might hurt myself and it might hurt other people. It's okay. The thing is, I'm okay if I'm doing stupid shits and then you fuck around and then you found out, it's fine. If I only hurt myself because I did it to myself, but then I'm kind of a bit afraid that if I'm drinking and then just driving, I might hit somebody else. That's the thing.
yeah.
Especially, I don't know, in here that actually around like 5 or 4 that a lot of people actually going out to buy something from the traditional market, like they actually trying to make a living and then I accidentally hurt them. It's just kind of like I'm not gonna do that in a good conscience now.
Yeah. What happens? I mean, in the end, and more easier like when you're drunk. That something like this happens. Not that you make an accident and anything or you hurt someone.
I've never.
You?
I mean,
I've never.
Of course, like you say that now, but at one point you might.
No.
I can't be sure about it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I can control myself, so I didn't drink that much last night, so I can still drive. And you still trust me to drive rather than I can.
Yeah, I trust you, but not.
Not okay.
Oh, really not.
Yeah, no, but it's good, of course. Like yesterday you drank not much and you were fine to drive, but there were other times, not only you, but it's crazy how it's never a thing in Germany. It's like the biggest crime. Like if you do that, you instantly lose your license for
Yes, in France.
actually forever. In France too, because yes, you have to prevent that.
Yeah, well, it's
The life of robbers.
yeah, probably right. Yeah, but then I don't know. In here, like
Here, a motorcycle is like a bicycle. In Germany as well, if you drive your bicycle, you can have 1.7 promille. Yeah, promille. 1.7, like 1.7, you can like barely walk. I would say 1.7 is really high, but you're allowed to drive a bicycle
Okay.
on the street.
Good.
Yeah, it's also
that's weird. That's
Yeah,
weird.
that's weird.
Think about it. Yeah, probably we should actually regulate about the drinking and driving. But then again,
Yeah, there's no regulation about driving anyways.
there is,
In
but people just
Indonesia?
simply don't give a fuck.
No, there's no. How? I bought a license in Indonesia
Really?
for 60 euros. Yeah, you see.
But
You have a CBC.
a license.
For what driving motorcycle? You know, you can just buy it. If you have the keyless, you can buy it.
Okay. I will contact you later.
Yeah, you go to the police station, say
Yeah.
you want a license, and then like you have the option: do you want to buy it or do you want to actually make a test? So if you make a test, then it's easier, but the test is kind of impossible. So
They actually changed the way that we take the test like
Oh, yeah?
a year ago.
Oh, how is it now? Is it possible?
Is it possible now?
Okay,
It's way,
it's possible now.
it's way more possible now.
But also, it's just like the test. There's never anyone who gives you an instruction.
Yeah. You're
Um,
just passing the test. Huh?
yeah, and the test is like, okay, you take a motorcycle and you have to go like this.
There
and
is
if
a
you can
route.
do that, you get your license.
Really?
Yeah.
And
It's not drive on the real street and look at signs or something.
That's crazy.
It's so stupid.
So you just paid for it,
Yeah, and then
and you can use it all over the.
no, only in
In
Indonesia.
yeah.
Indonesia.
But maybe like as an Indonesian, you could go, for example, to Germany and say, yeah, this is my license and I want to have it like converted. But I think you maybe get for like a time, you get allowance, not allowance. You are allowed to drive, but then you have to make a German one, I think, or make like
Okay.
a practical test or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to say something, but it's gonna be. It sounds so bad enough.
Oh.
Nah. Yeah, well, you guys can go away from this country, but I'm staying here. If I say something bad, it's like, oh, okay, that guy. Okay, so what else that we are gonna talk about? You don't have anything to ask to me?
I came unprepared.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, do you think?
You came not even knowing what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Well, do you think I'm prepared for this? No. I just.
You're a good moderator.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so next thing. Okay, we talk about the nightlife. We talk about the
Yes.
traffic in here.
Yes.
What else?
We can make a break.
Indonesian food after.
Yeah, okay. We'll continue after the break. It's actually pretty nice to actually live with someone else, but then you still need your own, like,
Your own space.
Yeah, well,
this
your
is
space.
time.
Yeah.
Like,
I
for
would need
yourself.
my own.
like me time.
Yeah.
I'm calling it me time.
Yeah.
You just sit there blasting the music out, and you just simply not giving a care about the world for an hour and 20 minutes.
Just
Good
not have a
together.
discussion when you don't.
Just sit there listening to music or do whatever you want. It's like recharging yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You don't get that.
You can also have not a discussion and sit with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, but still, it's still draining your. Yeah, I don't know because.
Yeah.
I think like you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we are introvert and you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
But that's not wrong. I mean, people can be like this and can be like this.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm not really. Nowadays, I don't really calling myself an introvert. But back in the day, I don't really do well in a social gathering with people. But then now, I can actually try to become like in between when I'm actually going out, and I have to be more social. I have to be
It's
talk to people.
all about
more.
balance. Yes.
Yeah, but then again, I still need to recharge my social battery.
Yeah.
Remember when we go go to Pangandaran, remember right?
Mhm.
So sometimes I just took the
Yeah.
car and just like drive away alone because I need to recharge. I sleep with other people, and then I talk with you again, and then
Yeah.
I just probably just like for like 15 or 20 minutes just like drive listening to music like finally alone just to recharge myself, and that's why I sometimes like drive
I know.
drive away alone.
So, to sum up, are you a dog or a cat person?
I'm a cat person.
Really?
Yes. I
Why
like
cat?
cats.
Why cat?
But at first I didn't. I was just a person at first.
Yeah, of
But,
course.
Yeah.
First of all, he is a person.
But
He is a
no.
person.
And
Gender?
I don't gender fluid or not?
No, I would say male. I'm he, him.
Him?
Is it true? He, him?
He, him.
Yeah, him.
He, him, she, her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not she, no, with the X1, XY.
Is this how you say it? I thought it was like
XI or something
they
like that.
or something.
Yeah, but there, it's actually
there's
like,
them.
yeah, they and them.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty fun topic to discuss later on, okay?
Yeah, no, but
Oh, that's a deep discussion.
Yeah, well, just I'm just gonna ask you. Yeah, well, just are you a cat person or no? But like,
cat person.
yeah, why?
So my ex-girlfriend had a cat and we were living together, and it was like kind of also annoying to have a cat, but
It's annoying. It's actually fun at the same
yeah,
time, right?
true. But cats are they just have their own life, you know. They
Yes.
they do depend on you, and they do
Yeah,
like
true.
to like.
They just simply don't give a fuck.
I would say cats are really extroverted because they also recharge like when they don't need to talk to you, but they like
How
they
the
need
hell are they
someone.
gonna talk to you?
They talk to you as well when they like. This cat used to scream at me all the time.
Discussion with his cat.
Oh,
sometimes.
so you talk with your cat? I
The
don't.
cat talked with me more. Like it was like really noisy cat, always.
Oh, the noisy one.
But yeah, still like they
Communicating.
and they recharge the battery when they're like next to someone. Like they don't need to get petted all the time, but they just don't want to be alone. It's like me.
So basically, you are a cat or a person?
It's true. Like, and now I'm not a person anymore. I'm a cat. No, but yeah, cat person. And I also like dogs. I mean, dogs are like good friends, but they are also clingy. They have to have like a lot of effort.
Attention.
Attention.
They
Um,
demand a lot of attention to them.
Yeah, they would give everything for you, but also you have to.
You have to give everything for
Yeah, well.
And I couldn't live a life with a dog, I guess
Yes.
now, or maybe in the future, I don't know, but because it wouldn't fit.
Exactly the same for me. I'm more a dog person, but if I have to choose right now, I will take a cat because I cannot afford for a dog.
Yeah.
Not just because it's more expensive, but it's
Like
more attention to
taking care of it, it actually takes more effort. Right?
Exactly. And when you're working, you live alone. It's not good for the dog.
Yeah, true. But cat is also similar. If you have a cat that cannot go outside because you live in a city or something.
Yeah.
This guy
then-
cannot go
Yeah.
outside.
But then here's no problem because always someone here, at least like in a day, you know.
Yeah.
But if you live with two persons and then you plan, like
Your
you go
day.
out and spontaneously you
Yeah.
want to, like, okay, I don't go home afternoon, I go home like next morning because something else is going on or something. You cannot do this if you have a cat. And this also like it gives away like a little bit.
You can go to weekend like you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah,
You always have to
You have more
get someone.
responsibilities.
That's actually, I just realized that there's always someone that actually stay behind in the office to just take care of that thing.
Yeah.
Bad thing.
That thing. It's not a, I don't know, it's kind of, for me it's kind of a bit like a love-hate relationship with him.
Yeah, this is
Kind
like
of bit
classic.
like, yeah, well, I actually like him, but then like, sometimes when you are actually asleep and then he's like, wow, wow, what do you want? He's like, fuck you.
Attention.
Yeah, he wants some attention. Like, I'm trying to sleep here. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, still, that guy is actually pretty. And I like him because like he actually doesn't bite. He actually doesn't like scratching
He's really
people.
calm.
Yeah.
He's really calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he doesn't really like to be like headed like the one you headed it's like.
Yeah, I saw it.
Ah.
He's so cute.
Yeah, really cute. So what was the other question you had?
Yeah. There wasn't a question.
No, you said you wanted to say
Talk
something, but first the cat thing.
What I think again, like, yeah, the gender fluid thing.
Oh, the gender
Oh,
fluid thing.
yeah.
That's kind of bit. Yeah, well, just say your opinion.
I don't have a really strong opinion to this. I think it's if everyone can be as they want, and I think that's it. Of course, it makes things like a little bit complicated, but more for them than for others, and it's so rare. Like, maybe not that rare, but I think people are making too much of a hype around it, and
Yes,
the problem
that's
is
true.
just. But it's like there's not that much problems actually occurring to this. And if someone doesn't feel like they are born and want to change or whatever, they feel more comfortable in a different way.
Not
then
really
understand.
about changing your gender from male
No,
to female.
not changing, but if you don't feel like
Yeah, well,
a
that's the
woman,
thing.
but you get born a woman, then why not just
Okay, then about your opinion, it's actually similar, or you just
Um,
simply don't give us.
I don't care actually what people like. They can do what they want to do, but I think that I don't know. Yes, people are really free in Europe, in France, but it can conduct to some. I don't know. I lost my word. Conduct to some.
You lost some voltage.
Yeah.
You're looking for it. Did you lose it?
No,
Oh,
I lost.
You said you lost for voltage. You're
Yeah,
looking for it.
in French too, I lost it, so it's why. Not extravagance, but
I think I get what you're trying to say.
yes,
think we should.
it's not the word I want to say, but
Yeah, but
I
then,
don't
yeah,
have
well,
the real
I think I
word.
get your point in it.
Yes, and people are just going in a wrong way sometimes, because there's a guy on TikTok and he said, yeah, I'm feeling like a sponge in France.
What the hell?
It's cringe, it's weird, and
Feeling like a sponge.
it's not natural.
Yeah, well, it's.
And some people in comments
But is
are
he like serious with it?
yeah, he was really serious. And some people in the comment section were like, yeah, he can be whatever he wants to be. And it's not because you're free that you can be everything you want to be and make everything you want to make.
Yeah, okay.
You
Yeah, I
have-
get.
You have to get some limits too, I think.
Yeah. But isn't it true? Like he can do whatever he wants. Like who is he disturbing
He's
with?
not hurting some people, but it's not natural. How can you feel like a sponge?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, in that case, probably like as long as for me, like as long as that you do it to yourself and you don't do harm to other, like okay, you have your own rule, you have your own world, but that doesn't mean I have to follow your world. That doesn't mean I have to follow your rule. You have your own. Yeah. For example,
Yes.
like when somebody feeling like they're sponge, okay, you can feel like sponge, but I still kind of consider you a human being, or he or she, and that's it. Yeah, but you may have your own world, but then I don't have to live in your world. So it's like
But
not
the
really
problem-
giving a.
The problem with this type of person is that they want you to accept.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
But
that's
this
actually become the
this-
problem.
this- I
They
mean-
don't want you to have your opinion.
Yep.
They want you to think like them.
But in
Not
that
in
case, like for example, if that person feels like a sponge, if that sponge feels like a sponge,
Okay.
and he wants me to accept him as a sponge, then okay, why not? Like it's not gonna do like I don't put effort in it like to accept. Okay, you're a sponge. I mean, I can.
But you don't believe in it.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah,
like
but then-
I don't have to believe in stuff for others to let others
so
speak,
you're
right?
just saying, okay, you're a sponge, just
Yeah.
to make him happy. But
Yeah, I'm not actually
So
make him
it's
happy,
not
but to
a-
accept his opinion about himself. And if it's a sponge, then okay. I think like in that specific case, like if he would be like, yeah, okay, I'm a sponge, and now I register for maybe a plane ticket, and there's Mr. and Mrs. but not sponge, And this is a problem. If that would be the case, then
Yeah.
all right. If you're like one person in the world who wants to be a sponge, of course, nothing's gonna change in the world for only you.
True.
This could be a problem, but also in when it comes to transgender, actually the group is big. I mean, and